How's it going, everybody? It's Shane here, and I'm here once again to give you another Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation episode review. Season 2 Part 2 is episode 16 entitled Norn and Aisha. Before I go any further, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more reviews just like this one. Sisters, it's what I've been waiting for. It was teased at the end of the last episode. Actually, I figured it would have taken a while, but it didn't. And remember, we got our boy Rurgerd, the soup herd. It's so weird to say the name Erd. I just call him RJ. If you're familiar with my older Mushoku Tensei episodes, so might call him RJ a couple of times. Rudy seems more like a dad than a big brother in here, right? Although, Big Brother's supposed to be big brotherly, but he seems more like a dad, and I'm liking it because it's leaning towards things for the future, right? If the series, is this series gonna go that long? I hope they change some of the ending parts that I've heard about, but I digress. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's talk about RJ. For me, the RJ stuff was the GOAT stuff, right? So I'm gonna talk about RJ, I'm gonna talk about Aisha, I'm gonna talk about Norn, I'm gonna talk about the Beast Girl hilarity. So let's talk about RJ first. RJ is exactly what Rudy needed. Like, my goodness. So where has he been this whole time? He was in the South Continent, then went to the Eastport, met up with Paul. Remember, he met Paul with Eris and Rudy before, I forget what town that was, when they were like the company protecting people or whatnot. It's complicated, but if I find my episode review for when they all met up with him, I'll put it in there. It was a tense 2 to 3 episodes, very tense, and I'll get to that in a minute. Ginger came with him. Ginger from, oh goodness, way back when Zenoba's, was it his evil brother or somebody was running everything and they wanted Eris, and it was this whole big to-do. She has has accompanied him as well. Somehow they met up, and she's gonna go see the Prince Zenoba. So another new family member. Yeah. Well, not a new family member, but another family member. Yeah. Essentially, right? Essentially, that's a family member. And now we're gonna address the elephant in the room, which is, so where's Eris? And it comes. I love how it just comes out of nowhere, kind of, for Rudy. Like, you would be expecting that, right? Because those were the trio. They were, what were they? Were they called the Beast Trio? I think they were called the Beast Trio because, you have Ruger, the soup herd. Eris, she was known as the Mad Dog, and Rudy was the Beast Tamer, because those two would beat your ass, and Rudy's in the center calling the shots. And Rudy's like, man, what did we ever talk about? Where's Eris? And Rudy's like, yeah, no, she left me. She left me, said we weren't matched. Ruger is what Rudy needed this whole entire time, because he goes, yeah, I don't think she hates you, because he knows how much she cares about him. The private conversation that he has had with Eris, he knows damn well she doesn't hate him. He goes, maybe what she said is what she said, but you misunderstood it. And Rudy's like, maybe I misunderstood it in Rudy's mind. And Rudy he's thinking, well, what's the point of me thinking about this anyway? Because, she didn't cure me. I was in hell for 3 years. Sylphie was the one to cure me, right? And I get it, Rudy. Like, you probably thought, well, one, he thought he was inadequate in bed with sex. Plus, it wasn't the act of sex that was hurting him. It was him having a fear of women leaving him. And Sylphie, coming back the next morning, showed him, oh, I can believe again. And aphrodisiac helped too. But still, it was that deep distrust of women. Even the lady of the night with Soul that had showed him, like, no, he's just doesn't seem like he doesn't trust women. And it was the truth. But him thinking that is so, That's so old. Whatever his original life name was, that's so old Rudy to just be like, well, it doesn't really matter anyway. Shut up. It does matter. You know why it matters? So you can heal from the trauma, dumbass. And I love the fact that Rudy's like, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave in the morning. Why though? Rudy looks so sad. Remember, they spent years together. That man is the big reason why him and Eris didn't die the moment they got there, right? And because of the mass teleportation incident. And so Rudy looked so sad, and Roger's like, don't look at me like that. I'm gonna come back. I promise, right? So he promises he's gonna come back. And he says, while I'm out, if I run into Eris, I'm gonna get her side of things, and I'm gonna come back and tell you what's going on. And he's like, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, Rudy, bet you would appreciate that. Also, he ran into Roxy, which, Roxy was afraid of him because she saw that third eye. I don't think we've seen the superb Rugered third eye yet that hides behind that Naruto-ish headband. I don't think we've seen it yet, but I digress. That's why Roxy looked really freaked out when we saw the flashback. And I think I even said that last week, yeah, she's freaking out because is Rugered. Even though he's bald without the green hair, he still got the third eye. So that's probably why she was freaking out. Racist, yes, indeed. Which is pretty stupid, because if you are told by Rudy's dad and Lilia, yeah, this guy's the reason why Rudy's not dead, you should probably stop being racist. I'm just saying. Still seeing her face being in terror, and Rudy's like, yeah, she's the one that told, in his mind, she's the one that told me about it. Rugered in the morning runs into King Bagidagi, and Rudy wakes up in enough time to catch their meeting, because Sylphie still sleeps. So he goes down. He's like, whoa, what's going on? Because this looks tense. Like Bagidagi, the freaking, does he have 6 arms? Yeah, he's like 6-armed Spider-Man, looking like a mutated Machamp. Dude is just kind of looking down at him, and Rugered has this look. And Rudy does inform us, oh yeah, those two have been around for a long time. They've been around since the Laplace War. I'm pretty sure Rugered's in his hundreds, and Bagidagi is literally a demon king, so he's freaking old too. Millennia. So when they're king, the last time we see Bagidagi say, so that's how it is, and he walks off, and Ruger's like, yeah, there's old blood between them. Perhaps there's a grudge or something, but he promises Rudy he's not gonna fight him. He's just surprised to see him there, and Rudy said, yeah, he came here to meet me apparently. And Ruger's like, okay, before I leave, he was gonna give him something, and Rudy's like, have breakfast with us. And they had breakfast, and it's nice and it's sweet, and you got Norn being Norn. I kind of wonder if Norn is I wonder if she's emotionally on the spectrum, or if she's just like the stuff she's been through. I blame her grandmother, but I'll get into that in a second. And then they see him off, and when they see him off, he's telling Aisha, don't give your brother a hard time. Norn wants to go with him because she doesn't like her brother. She's like, this isn't the same woman he was with when I saw him. I'm like, bitch, let me put this business up there. What? Yeah, I get it. She's a little girl. I said what I said. I said what I said. Worst little sister. At the time he hit father, your dad deserved that punch. Your daddy deserved that punch, because Rudy's putting on airs for him so he wouldn't worry. Then he want to act like Rudy's being a brat. And Rudy's like, you don't know what I've been through. Thought I was gonna die. I had to save a whole ass princess, and I got this guy over here who, even though he won't kill me because I'm a kid, I felt like he was gonna kill me. I'm glad Rudy punched Paul. That needed to happen. Then they need to have the conversation. Eris was gonna definitely put foot to ass if Rugered hadn't gotten her. No, you got to get over that shit. Even though, what is she? I don't even know how old they are at this point. What, 6, 7, 8, 10? Who knows? Because the passage of time in this show is just odd. Rudy looks older from part 1, but he should have looked older back in part 1 of season 2. I'm just saying, passage of time is not obvious here. But Norn wants to stay, and he's like, rely on your brother. All right, just rely on him, and get Sylphie's name again. It's like, I'm trusting them with you. It's like, yeah, but I'm just counting days until Air shows up again. Air's the best girl. I can't wait. But so there's more to the Norn. I'm gonna get to Norn second. We're gonna talk about best little sister Aisha first. There's a chest with jewels. There's 2 letters, a copy of the first letter that Rudy got, and the second letter that says he wants Rudy to put them both in school. Obviously, he got a copy of the second letter just in case the first letter didn't reach him. That makes tons of sense. It may be like more of a surprise, and it's probably why he says sorry a bunch of times, because if the first letter didn't get there, and then you get the second one, or they show up and you're like, wait, what the hell's going on here? That makes a lot of sense. That's the details. That's details of storytelling. Love it. But Aisha doesn't want to go to school. Remember, Aisha is very clever. Rudy says, well, you take the entrance exams, right? And then that'll decide if you go. So, but Aisha wants to be made. Norn, Aisha gets on Norn because Norn's acting like she doesn't want to go, but because Norn isn't all that good at school. And it's kind of mean how Aisha gets on Norn's case, but Norn's an asshole, so I'm kind of okay with it. But Rudy's being big brother / dad, saying, don't do that to your sister. She may seem like she's not trying, but maybe she is trying, right? Good big brother. I wish we would have got a scene of Norn hearing him say that, so maybe it can soften her goof ass a little bit. And when they take the entrance exams, Aisha gets a perfect score. Worked really hard. Perfect score. Norn didn't do terrible, but she's below where she should be for her age. Now, night before Rudy, or sometime before, Rudy had talked to Sylphie and because he was freaking out, like, I should broaden their horizons and put them in school, right? And she's like, well, I could use some help around the house. We haven't been upkeeping the house. Like, let them decide what they want to do with the future. But I'm really worried about Norn. Like, Norn doesn't like either one of them. And she could benefit from gathering friends and stuff from the school. So when we get to the exams and Norn says to her brother, seems very monotone, by the way. The only type of emotion she showed was towards Richard. She's very monotone, which is why I'm wondering if she is on some type of spectrum. Possibly. I don't know. Or maybe she's just emotionally stunted because of everything that has happened. But Rudy's thinking, like, okay, it took a lot of courage for her to ask. I could easily shut that down. And she already doesn't like the two of us. Maybe some distance will help a little bit. And Aisha's like, no, Dad said we stay with Big Brother. And Rudy's like, all right, you can stay in the dorms. And Aisha starts crying. And she's like, why is it that she gets to do whatever she wants? I worked hard. I did all of this. Is it because I'm only your half sister and my mom's a concubine? I'm like, whoa. First of all, she is brilliantly smart. Just when we first meet Aisha, when she's pretending to not know Rudy's her brother, with the whole ginger incident with the Zenoba thing and the kingdom thing. Yeah. So she's brilliantly smart. So when she goes, it's because my mom's a concubine, just like, whoa, straight to the point. And she's crying, and he's like, look, you may not believe me, but I never saw Lilia like that. You're as much of my sister as Norn is. And he's like, who told you that? Her mother. So Lilia looks down on herself. She really does. And Norn's grandmother's a bitch, flat out. I hope we never meet her. I don't know if they ever meet each other in the book or the manga. I hope we never meet this woman. I hope by the time everything is solved with finding the matriarch of Rudy's family, that woman is already in the dirt. Don't like her ass. And that is so much like real life, because I know of people's grandmothers who have ruined people's lives when they were children. Like, they ain't your daddy, or they ain't your real daddy, or, oh, you only have siblings, right? That, I don't know what type of evil possesses older folks to do shit like that. But that's why I'm going so hard on whoever this old ass witch is. And I apologize to witches, because that's offensive to them. So he consoles her, just like, trust me, I love you the same. Norn has no emotion behind her sister crying. He says they're technically the same age. I think they were born at the same time. So they fuck. And he stay fuck. And we do see later, Aisha cleaning up everything. It's adorable. She's enjoying herself. She's happy. I'm glad. We're all glad. Let's talk about Norn. Now, oh, by the way, Aisha was, Rudy initially was like, well, since you passed it, you should go in. But she showed him the headband where they made the promise all those years back. And he's like, all right, cool. So Norn, this is what Rudy's acting like a dad, man. He's telling her, abide by the dorm rules. Don't betray your friends. Study hard. Brush your teeth. Wash up every day. So it got to a point where at one point she just stopped saying yes. And then he says, if you don't abide by any of this, you got to come home. By the way, every 10 days, come back to this house. And she's like, why? Because I get worried. He loves her. He loves his family. I gave it to him. He loves his family. Bring your ass back home. Unfortunately, looks like she's skipping out on classes, right? Because towards the end of the episode, we see a classroom, and it's very much implied the seats for her, but she's in her dorm room, just underneath the covers, kind of like freaking out. It's obvious she has some anxiety. Granted, this girl's been like all over the continent with her dad looking for their mom, so I kind of get it. Like, she's been through a lot of turmoil, but man, for Aisha to be she's so mature, but she's open with her emotions and how she feels, and I love that in a character. It's just like Norn is just the complete opposite. Just like, I figured Rudy's shut-inness would have been something he carried from the past world, but I guess that's a recessive gene inside of their gene pool. But he runs into her technically 3 times, but twice. The first time he sees her and she's like walking by herself, no friends. The second time they run it again after he has his meeting with Ario. We'll talk about that in a second. And she introduces herself to Ario. Very timid. Norn, Greyrat, and Rudy nods like, yeah, that's my little sister. She needs to get to room 3. Luke, technically her second cousin, guides her to such, and she kind of glances back at Rudy. I'm like, damn, she really does not like him. And Rudy is like, I don't really know her that much, so he plans on slowly getting to know her, which is interesting because the next episode is called My Older Brother's Feelings. So somebody gonna have a talking to with her, probably, or maybe the episode is gonna be all from her point of view. I need them to do another episode like that, because the Sylphie / Fitz episode, where the very next episode we got her view, and it's like Rudy's running all around and then she's running all around and we get glimpses of him. I hope that next episode's like that, just to break it up a little bit. Also, we did get a joke where Rudy said, oh man, Sylphie's just like Master Fitz. And she's like, well, technically she is Master Fitz with her advice giving. Let's talk about this Beast Girl debacle. So since these are beast people, they do have a different set of social norms, and they gave Rudy a gift because he seemed like he was down. He is down about Norn. Why, y'all? So apparently he's in the hall. They told him, don't open up this sack, and it's soft. He's like, maybe it's just a mouse. And Luke catches up with him and says, can't see in the office. It's Luke, Ario, and Sylphie. And Sylphie's just looking like, and Rudy's like, so what's going on, y'all? He drops the bag. What's good? And Ariel tells them that the Beast Girls have been going up to flat-chested girls saying you have no rights and taking their panties right then and there. And it dawns ever so quickly on Rudy about what is in that bag. And they say, yeah, this will cheer the boss up. The boss will be happy. And Rudy just immediately, I didn't know what was going on. They just gave me this bag. I did not tell them to do this. And he's like, I'm married to Sylphie. I am not desperate at all. And Sylphie's happy because she says, oh man, I thought I wasn't satisfying you. And we get a slight test from the princess where she says to I guess it was to the both of them, like, oh yeah, you guys having your hot steamy nights together. And Rudy's like, what are you telling her? You telling her all of this? She's like, no. It's just like, no, that was a test. I'm just got to make sure you actually didn't tell them to do that, because let's be real, past 10-year-old Rudy, like before he had his little issue, he probably would have been like, yeah, nah. Well, he probably wouldn't have told them to do it, but it's more likely with him. But easily gives them the bag. He's like, I haven't even looked in it. We open, we see some interesting frilly things. Not really frilly things. We see some interesting things. And yeah, he does have a talking to with them where he's telling them, don't do that. Like, come on, why? And they're like your perfect school bullies, because they're like, hey, first year, what you staring at? Get on out of here. And the first year is Norn. And Rudy's looking at Norn. Norn's looking at him. And it's like, does Norn think that Rudy is lecherous? Which he certainly used to be. Although, he wouldn't mind sneaking a peek, right? But I wonder her thoughts of him, because he realized y'all's daddy is the same, right? Like, I'm willing to bet that Paul did some stuff with Ghislaine. He probably did some stuff with Lilia before he got with dang, I actually don't know Rudy's mom's name. Why do I feel like her name starts with an N too? Hold on, we're just gonna look this up live, because I legitimately don't remember her name. Rudy mom. I actually don't remember her name. What is her name? Zenith. Really, her name's Zenith? Why did I think her name started with an N? Don't know why I thought her name started with an N for some reason. Zenith. Yeah, there you go. Zenith. But I'm pretty sure Paul was doing some Pauly things. It was very apparent based on a conversation that Luke had with Rudy's problem, and very apparent with what was it? Eris's grandfather? Because technically Rudy and Eris are like cousins removed through marriage. Like, they're not blood, but they are related ish. It's a weird thing. I just know they're not blood related, right? Because obviously if they were, I don't even know if Rudy would actually give a shit either. I digress. Yeah, y'all's daddy was lecherous. Just putting it out there, Norn. So, she goes off. That's where we get the whole Rudy saying, I want to get to know her slowly. But he also warns the Beast Girls. He's like, standing between them with his hands on their shoulders, do not do anything to her behind my back. And they're like, nope, certainly will not. All it took was that one time for him to scare the shit out of them, and that fully worked. Good episode. I'm definitely giving this a 5 out of 5 because of Rudyard alone. Like, I like I hate to say emotional depth, because it's it's an anime, but this is kind of what it is. It's emotional depth. You can just the subtle Rudy so excited that he's there. the fact that he is dang near distraught when Rudeus is talking about leaving right away. You have him juggling. Technically, he is being a dad. I get that those are his little sisters. Dude, that is him being a dad. That is, you are being a straight up father right now. And I'm looking forward to somehow him breaking the Norn ice. Since passage of time in this show is really not an issue, I wouldn't be it because if I remember correctly in the episode, it had been a month. She'd been going to the academy for a month. It's springtime, by the way. Been going for a month. And I didn't like the imagery. I don't know if that was on purpose, but I think it was. Every time we would see snowfall, and then snow will come back, and then now it's spring and everything is kind of melted. That might be a little bit of a hint there for something, maybe. But I'm sure we're gonna get the softening. Maybe something has to give next episode. It's just these episodes go by so fast. Like, they're not shorter than anything. What's 24? Yeah, they're not short or anything. It's just I'm enjoying this emotional aspect so much. I have a feeling towards the end of this full season, it's probably going to be so much action. Action and drama. You won't be tired of any of it. It's just, this was really good. Like the subtleness of like Rudeus being a centerpiece for this family. Thank goodness for Rudeus, and just everyone having their own feelings and emotions. And that comedy was very much needed. I'm glad that was inserted towards the end, or this could have been more of a heavy-handed episode. Kind of like I don't want to say last episode was heavy-handed, but last episode was really, really good. I put last episode over this because of the whole Illinois Sylphie family reunion thing. Feels like the theme of this season is family reunions and people getting together. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you enjoying the season so far? What is this? This episode 16. I think we started with 13. Are we only 3 episodes in? I'm just gonna sneak a peek here, guys. So let me sneak a peek. The hell we are. We are not only 3 episodes in. We are technically 4 episodes in. Wow, 4 episodes in, and this is gonna at least be 12 to 13. Dang. It feels like time is going fast with this series. I love it so much. Let me know what you think of the episode in the comment section down below. Please do not forget, thumbs up the video. It helps a lot. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of more reviews just like this one. I plan on doing Kaiju number 8 soon. I gotta get back on the Pokemon train because they have changed ending songs, and they have switched to things that are closer to the video game Scarlet and Violet. So stay tuned for all that stuff, and stay tuned for I'm gonna try to put up some special Friday reviews, but you'll see those when those come. Please be good, be blessed. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate all of you. Wash your hands, drink some water. Be safe out there. All right, take care of yourself. Take care of others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. All right, be good to yourself. Be good to others. Realize that I say this all the time, and I mean it every single time. I see that so many people are just tired, just done, and are just sad. Reach out to somebody out there. Collectively, we've all been there, and some of us need a little bit more help than others, right? So reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. There are people out there that care about you and would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. I can guarantee that. My social medias are in the description below. My Patreon link is in the description below. If you want to support me even further, please go forth, send me a message. I won't bite, just don't be a jerk, and we'll all be good, all right? Well, until next time, guys, what a time. This is some good stuff.